I got hands-on with Diablo 4's new upcoming class, and it's clear to see how Blizzard's more hybridised approach helps set it apart from those in the base game. Although Activision Blizzard has done a decent enough job keeping Diablo 4 players engaged in the year since launch with seasons, in reality it's all been leading to this. The first hellish expansion, Vessel of Hatred, is set to launch later this year on October 8th, 2024, introducing a new explorable location in the jungle region of Nahantu. But more important is the impending introduction of the first new class in a mainline Diablo game for 10 years, the Spiritborn. Deeply inspired by nature's suite of apex predators and the realm that sits between angels and demons, I got to spend 2 hours testing out the Spiritborn's various builds, and it has me plenty excited to dive back into Diablo 4 when Vessel of Hatred launches. Blizzard has tried to set the Spiritborn apart from Diablo 4's other classes, mostly successfully I'd say, by taking a more hybridized approach to its design. Using Nahantu's natural jungle environment for inspiration, the team has elected to infuse the class with not one, but multiple varieties of animal spirit, all of which can be called upon in unique ways via different passive and active skills to make it one of the most customizable classes seen in Diablo 4 so far. As a necromancer main myself, I'm used to mixing in blood-focused skills with aspects of bone and shadow, but the Spiritborn truly seeks to kick the level of variety up a gear by letting players tap into the skill tree's full spectrum, as opposed to being hindered or closed off by it. It certainly helps that the Spiritborn's main gimmick is its ability to tap into Sanctuary's lesser known spirit realm, which essentially means summoning the guises of one of 4 different animal gods: Jaguar, Gorilla, Eagle and Centipede, in a bid to deal the ideal level of damage suited to your playstyle. Playing a mostly Jaguar build while fighting through Nahantu's overworld and dungeons, I instantly felt the benefit of the spirit's quick and aggressive actions whenever enemies started to swarm. Close range attacks such as Thrash made light work of small foes due to its short cooldown, while Rake's ability to conjure a set of eagle claws to rake through enemies dealt realms of slight damage at a fast clip. The Gorilla Spirit's chain of skills is a lot more ground focused by comparison, operating at a much slower pace than any of the other 3 animal spirit summons. That said, while the likes of skills such as Payback and Armored Hide won't have much use to me in Vessel of Hatred's final version, it's easy to see how its tank-like defensive nature could suit players who prefer a much more calculated and defensive playstyle. Of all 4 animal guardians available to the Spiritborn class, Eagle and Centipede, if you can believe it, spoke to me the most during my short hands-on time, both for very different reasons. The Eagle Spirit set of skills are mostly made up of long-range attacks, be it sending out a flurry of ghostly spike feathers or simply dispatching a lance-like stab directly in front. I found the naturally fast pace of these skills helped me to render the Spiritborn class a perfect glass cannon should that be desired. The Centipede's emphasis on passive, slow-burning poison attacks, meanwhile, do an expert job at depleting enemy health over time. Skills such as Toxic Skin can be set off to see foes receive poison whenever they attack, but my favourite skill of all animal spirits, without question, was what's called Scourge, which calls forth a wave of insects to bite at enemies to apply slow and poison effects, offering vital breathing space. In all these ways and more, it's clear that with the Spiritborn class, Blizzard has recognised the weight, importance and expectation that comes with designing the first new mainline Diablo class since Reaper of Souls' Crusader way back in 2014. This hybridization approach, which the team regularly call back to, has resulted in the Spiritborn feeling more like an amalgamation of classes, with its 4-quadrant approach offering a touch more flexibility than any of the 5 previous featured in the Diablo 4 base game. Not wanting to overwhelm both new and existing players with choice paralysis, the colour-coded nature of each animal spirit does well to make each of their attacks readable, and should make learning the most synergetic pair on the skills front more digestible too, with my only slight concern for the class being that all 4 of the animal spirits ultimates function a bit too similarly to one another. Whether it's calling a giant eagle down to temporarily lock enemies into a position and deal damage, or summoning the gorilla to ground pound an area for an extended length of time, most boil down to a widespread AoE attack that looks great as a set piece. The only exception is the Centipede, thankfully, which when summoned not only does up close damage, but is also an asset at a distance thanks to its spitting acid attack. In terms of story, the class specific quest and what enemies will face, plenty about Diablo 4's first paid for expansion appropriately remains a mystery. However, following 2 hours of playtime with the Spiritborn, one thing is for certain. Blizzard intends to come out swinging at launch with a new class that is not only thoughtful, but equal parts flexible and appropriately ferocious too. As ever, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like and get subscribed because there's some really cool stuff in the pipeline. I've been Nathan Bliss, voicing Aaron Potter's hands-on preview of Diablo 4's first new class in 10 years. Catch you in the next one.